sure when we're going to stop dismissing bad behavior of historical icons, but I really wish we could get there soon. Sooner than today. Because I saw this tweet and I was reminded that there's a movie coming out about Priscilla Presley and her time with her husband, Elvis, the very famous rock and roll artist who stole both music and dance moves from Black people, but y'all aren't ready to hear that. That guy married Priscilla Presley when she was just 14 years old, which I had totally forgotten, probably because I blacked it out because it's gross. He was 10 years older than her when they married, and in all the interviews and all the press junkets she's doing now, and also in the book, Priscilla claims that at the age of 14, they did not consummate their relationship. People think, oh, it was sex. No, it wasn't. I never had sex with him. He was very kind, very soft, very loving, but he also respected the fact that I was only 14 years old. Ma'am, it's called grooming, which is even more evident when you read further into the book. Oh, that's right. She wrote all of this in a 1985 book. There's also been a TV movie on it already. And there's a movie coming out in October directed by Sofia Coppola. Back to the predatory behavior. When speaking of Elvis, she writes, "He taught me everything. How to dress, how to walk. He became my father, my husband, and very nearly God." Now, admittedly, I have not read the book and I haven't seen the movie yet either, but I feel like there isn't enough talk about how this is predatory behavior. It seems like with rock and roll legends, people aren't ready to affix those labels, but I don't know what you call a grown man of 24 marrying a child the age of 14 other than child SA. A 14-year-old isn't ready to have physical or emotional romance with somebody that age. I don't care how mature Priscilla Presley claims that she was. She's a victim in this situation, and Presley was the predator. They were engaged in sexual behavior before marriage. It says Priscilla's descriptions of the night she spent with Elvis before their marriage suggest that the star was not overtly sexual to her. The couple kissed and engaged in petting, but Elvis always stopped before the makeout sessions before it led to actual intercourse. How gallant of him. Elvis was apparently in a cleansing period. He was in his cleansing era. So any kind of sexual temptations were against everything he was striving for. What does a 24-year-old man have in common with a 14-year-old child? The characterization of this, like he held off as if he were some kind of hero to me, is so off-putting. I'm not sure if it's because I have two young girls or because I have common sense and understanding of what child grooming looks like. Unlike the Republicans that come into my comments and accuse us of doing that. Elvis said, "I'm not saying we can't do other things. It's just the actual encounter. I want to save it." Priscilla adds, "Fearful of not pleasing him, of destroying my image as his little girl, I resigned myself to the long wait. Instead of consummating our love in the usual way, he began teaching me other means of pleasing him. We had a strong connection, much of it sexual. The two of us created some exciting and wild times." Now, I do appreciate the aesthetic. It's pretty fantastic. And I like the acknowledgement that Elvis fans are not going to like certain things. That's nice. And even some of the people that have viewed the movie already are talking about the fact that it is focusing on a female sexual repression in the hands of powerful men. Okay, but she wasn't a female. She was a child. She was a female and a child. I don't see that enough in the press. I don't see any of that. I see people still kind of delicately skirting around this issue as if it's a question of, oh, those were just what you did in the times. I mean, but this is why we're not erecting statues of people that enslaved people anymore, because we understand that those times were not okay times. Marrying a 14-year-old is not acceptable. Then or now. And to be clear, I'm not saying the movie should be made. Just stressing the fact that I wish there was more talk about the fact that the beginnings of this relationship were rooted in pedophilia, period. And the patriarchy is covering up for that. And the love of rock and roll also, I guess.